Just like any other person, I've spent hours binge watching YouTube videos on the best apps to have on your MacBook for me to end up not even using most of these. In this video, I'll run you through the ones that I've gotten the most out of. So the way that this video is going to work, I'm going to go through every single app. There's 7 of them. I'm going to give you an overview of what the app does. I'm going to tell you how this was useful for me. And 3, I'm going to show you a little bit of a quick run through on how to download these apps. So let's jump right in then. So the first software that we're going to look at is the Notion calendar. Let's open it up. So as you can see, the Notion calendar kind of works very similarly to how Google Calendar works. But me personally, first and foremost, I prefer the UI of Notion Calendar. Second of all, Notion Calendar is an actual app that you can actually download into your laptop, whereas Google Calendar, well, it's just a website, and I personally like having it as a whole app on my laptop desktop, and I can just access it from there. The other thing that I find it quite useful for is integrating it with Notion. I mean, with every medical student, I can't lie, we're all kind of Notion crackheads, where we just want to put everything onto Notion. So for me in particular, I like having my content calendar here. So as you can see, for example, this video, the essential apps every med student needs, has to be released on the Saturday, for example. And I've got it on my calendar, and it's all integrated basically. And that's why I personally recommend the Notion calendar. Before it used to be called Cron, but now they've changed it into Notion calendar. I think Notion got the rights for it or something. What you want to do is search for Notion calendar here on Google. Press on the first link there. You don't necessarily want to go into the Get Notion Calendar free page. You want to go into the downloads page. It'll take you all the way down to the bottom, and then just choose the operating system that you're working on. For me, obviously, I'm on my MacBook, so I'm going to press the Get MacBook OS version, and you can see there you go, it downloads it straight away. So that's Notion Calendar. That's the first app that I use. Let's jump on to the next one. The next app that I use is an app called Flow. So really and truly, this is the Flow app over here. So the reason why I use Flow is just to really just track the hours of work that I'm doing continuously. So the way that I've set it is for my flow duration, the time that I'm in this flow state, to be about 90 minutes. So I'm able to kind of work for a good 90 minutes solid without being distracted at all. And then I've set it up so that it's got 15-minute break intervals. And once it gets to a certain stage, I think it's about 15 minutes, or after 2 15-minute breaks, it'll give me a 30-minute break. And then that's what I personally use when it comes to just studying, and just especially in exam season, I use it the most. And I like having a look at all those hours that I've done, and they do add up quite nicely. So for example, if you look back at this year, you can see that in 2024 I've done 13 days, 12 hours and 46 minutes worth of work, and you can see the most was in April actually, where there's 5 days, 11 hours and 45 minutes of work that whole month, and that's actually like studying revision wise. And you can see this month is me basically just cramming. Obviously there's a lot of months here that aren't accounted for because I just sometimes forget to set this up, but I like having a look, especially when it kind of goes to like reflecting on how exam seasons have gone. Like look at this, 5 days, 2 days here. It's like a lot of hours goes into studying for med school, and you can see especially why second year was the craziest. Just look at that in total, 7 days, almost 8 days really worth of revision. That's crazy. Over 2 months, that's crazy. But yeah, third year wasn't that bad. It's bad, but obviously not that bad compared to second year. How do you get Flow? So all you need to do is go into your app store. This I think is specific for Mac users. All you gotta do is search for the Flow app and literally just download it straight away. I think I've paid for the premium version, which you get just by subscribing to it every year for about I think £9 or something. But yeah, I personally use this, but it's free to use. You don't need to get the premium version for it. And that's the second app. Then the next app. So the next app is this little widget that I have over here. This is called Text Sniper. This is Text Sniper. So if I go into Google, search up Text Sniper. So the main point of this app is to be able to extract and copy any text from basically anything that I highlight. Let's give you an example then. Especially in med school, there's a lot of images that you need to look at, and usually there's a lot of information on those images where you need to somehow copy and just write down basically. And me personally, I like to make flashcards. And when it comes to doing that, there's a lot of information on that image, and I don't want to just be typing it all out. All I have to do, I've got a shortcut assigned to doing this. So for me, it's my Command Shift 2 button, and I can just hover over the part of the image that's got the text that I want to copy. So let's say it's anything over here. So the middle cerebral artery, the recurrent artery of whatever that is, A2, and the anterior cerebral artery. And then it tells me that it's copied it to the clipboard. So now I can go anywhere. If I just press Command V just to paste, you can see it's copied all of that information there from that image. And literally, it can be anywhere. Like this whole site, for example. If I press that same shortcut button, if I highlight all of this, everything that is in that highlighted region basically gets added to my clipboard, and I can paste it in. So you see, it's literally gathered all that information there. And it's so useful when it comes to gathering a lot of information, especially from one image, or just multiple images, or just from anything that doesn't have any selectable material for you to just copy and paste easily from. So how do you get TechSniper? TechSniper, if you want an unlimited license, or you can just pay for it for one license. So you can pay $8 for having on just one Mac, and yeah, you can just buy it from here, to be honest. Or if you want to get it different ways, you can try get it different ways, innit? But yeah, that's basic TechSniper for you. And yeah, med students, trust me, it's helped me so much in med school. So the next app that I'm going to show you guys is arguably the most important app for any medical student. Let you guys guess for a bit. I'll let you guys guess. And that app is Anki over here. Anki is the most fundamental app that's gotten me through these last few years of medical school. Just, you can literally look at my heat map. Anki is the GOAT. If for those of you guys who don't know, but most of you guys should know, Anki is this flashcard app. You're able to make flashcards on it. You're able to do flashcards on it. And the main point of Anki is it has this algorithm where it will tells you when you should be reviewing certain cards on what specific days, based on when you're most likely to forget the information on that flashcard. So it works quite well. The main point is you need to be remaining quite consistent on it, which I personally find difficult, but I kind of use this thing to also just track everything I need to be covering, and also use it as a little bit of a guide on what content I need to be covering every single year. So yeah, you see, for example, my psychiatric block, I've been in charge of making all the flashcards for this, and there's about 320, I think 318 cards in total. Yeah, 318 cards in total, and I've still got about 8 conditions left to do. Should be finished in the next couple of days. But yeah, that's Anki really, to be honest. If you want to know how to download it, so all you need to do, head on to Google. So you search Anki and literally just press download and then select the operating system which you need to download it for. So most of you guys that are on the M1, M2, M3s will be downloading the Apple Silicon one. And for those of you guys who are on any older ones, make sure you select the Intel version. And you can see over here, obviously, it's told you which version is best to download. My main advice, also go into the Anki web and make sure that you've set up some sort of an account, because it will ask you to do that later on. But if you guys need any tips on Anki, let me know down in the comments if you want to see a completely separate video on how to navigate and just utilize Anki to the best of your abilities. So that's that app. On to the next one now. We've got one that everyone should be quite familiar with, and that app is this guy over here, Excel. Excel is so useful, so useful, and I actually started using this more last year in particular. The main reason why is because last year I put all of my different conditions, all the modules into one specific place. I kind of split it up into two depending on what was coming up in the exams. And then I color coded it on what I covered, what I didn't cover. And then what I did is I rated every single module out of 10 and then created a formula at the end that would calculate what percentage I should get if there was a whole calculation that was made up from it. And that calculation turned out to be exactly what I got in the exam. So it really kind of gave me that confidence that, you know what, this, if I'm being honest with myself every single time and I'm using this properly, it will give me a realistic view of what I should be getting in the exam, based on the content that I've covered and the amount of work that I've been doing. So yeah, I mean, I've just found Excel quite useful in there, once again, tracking what I need to be doing and giving me a rough idea on how well I'm going to be doing as well. And if I need to put in any more work, I need to put in any less, because if this number is going below 50%, it's not looking good, bruv. I'm telling you, it's not looking good, and I need to be putting in a lot more work. So yeah, you can see over there, 2 blocks, 61%, 60%. I ended up getting 61 point something percent in the final exams. So yeah, and for a cramming job, that's quite good, you know. So that's Excel. And obviously, if you guys don't know how to download Excel, well, most of you guys who are in uni should have Office 365. Most of your unis have some sort of Microsoft account, and with that, if you don't know already, Office 365 is how you get, or Microsoft 365 as they've renamed it right now, is how you get all the Microsoft products like Word, PowerPoint, Excel. So all you need to do is log into that and then just download it, to be honest. And you can see, yeah, it gives you the option of downloading Microsoft 365 apps for macOS. So that's that app. On to the second last one. The next tool is a tool that I use in particular in first and second year, much more less so in third year and fourth year. Actually, I've never touched it in third or fourth year, but this was especially useful for me in second year when I was doing my anatomy and prosectorium exams, because, yeah, I mean, complete anatomy. So complete anatomy is this interactive 3D platform that lets you see all the anatomical structures. Literally, well, I need to log in, but you're able to kind of just do everything with this really, and it lets you get used to all the anatomical structures. You see, you're able to annotate stuff, you're able to isolate stuff, you can fade that one thing that you selected out, so it makes a bit of a gap. But as you can see, yeah, I found it so useful personally, especially in second year when we had that we had a prosectorium exam. So prosection is when you have actual physical human cadavers, and the prosectorium exam, what they do is all the human pieces of the cadaver were cut up into its relevant pieces, and we had an exam of basically identifying the anatomical structures, also giving the functions, names, and all of that. And this was so important when it came to doing that, just understanding where the different parts of different things were. It helps you just orientate and familiarize yourself with just the different parts of the body and where everything is. Yeah, that's complete anatomy. When it comes to how you get this, you can just get it straight from the App Store. But the main problem with complete anatomy is I don't know necessarily how much it costs or whether you can get it independently or not. But I think the universities, well, I know the universities who got it for us, but I'm not too sure on how it works for if you want to get it for yourself or not. For us, at least, the university did offer it to us. So you're gonna have to ask your university if you're not too sure about it. And last and certainly but not least, so this is Google Drive. Everyone who's got a Gmail account, Google account will have access to some sort of Google Drive. For me personally, this has been so important for just having a place where everyone can access certain material, especially when you're working on group projects or you've just got a lot of files that you want to collaborate with other people and share them around. This has been so important. Like Hamza's notes, all that, like those are all on Google Drives. Anything that's shared between the year groups, that's all on Google Drives. Like for example, here you can see the people who are the reps of our year groups. They've made these Google Drives and just put all the relevant material for every single year of the course all on these Google Drives. Me personally, I've got a lot of stuff stored on these, so I obviously had to go with a bigger cloud storage of 200 gigabytes. But for most people, I think it's about 100. Is it 15 or 100 gigabytes that they offer you at the beginning? But it's usually enough for most people anyways. And yeah, I mean, that was it for me, to be honest. And those are all the apps that are on my MacBook that I use personally. Alright, so that's the video. I mean, if you guys have do the usual, like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on the push notification button so you never miss out on videos just like this one. And I'm telling you guys, we are being consistent here. So inshallah, I'll see you guys in the next one then.